A young girl stood by her mother's grave for a month, feeling the remnants of her mother's love. She reflected on their cherished moments together until the cemetery staff eventually asked her to leave. It was a painful goodbye, and she knew that once the burial was complete, she would never find this spot again. As she walked away, she kept turning back to bid her mother farewell, knowing deep inside that her future was in her hands. She realized that only through education could she change her life. Determined, she went to her neighbor for help. When someone shows a willingness to change, others often lend a hand. With her neighbor's assistance, she was able to enroll in a private high school. However, due to heavy traffic, she arrived late and the staff initially refused her entry. But she persisted, insisting on filling out the application, even though she was uncertain about her future dreams. Her current dream was simply to go to school. After a long wait, she finally met with the principal. He gave her a chance, impressed by her perseverance and intelligence. He recognized her determination to leave her harsh environment behind and saw her potential to succeed. She shared with the principal her difficult past, including how her mother had passed away from AIDS. The honesty in her story moved him, and he accepted her application, giving her the opportunity she desperately sought. Her determination was evident, and she promised to fight for her education. However, there was still a hurdle. She needed her father's approval for the school application. Her father, who had been absent for years, was now staying in a homeless shelter. After much hesitation and resistance, he finally agreed to accompany her to meet the principal. Though he had nothing to offer her materially, his words of encouragement touched her deeply. Her father's support gave her the strength to continue, but she knew she had a lot of catching up to do, having missed 2 years of school. Determined to graduate with her peers, she studied day and night, asking questions and learning as much as she could. Balancing school with part-time jobs, she worked tirelessly, even reading while washing dishes. She spent her nights on the subway, finding solace in the routine of 24-hour trains. Despite the hardships, she remained focused on her goal. One day, she ran into her old friend Chris, who had stopped attending school. Lizzie urged Chris to return, and with some encouragement from the principal, Chris eventually agreed. Lizzie was also excited about a school trip to Boston but doubted she would qualify due to her grades. To her surprise, the principal informed her that she had ranked first in the exams. Overwhelmed, she couldn't believe it, feeling like an outsider who had somehow succeeded against the odds. The principal reassured her that she was destined for more, including attending college. Chris, however, lacked ambition and couldn't envision a future beyond menial jobs. Lizzie, feeling conflicted, wanted to help Chris but knew that she couldn't lose sight of her own goals. The principal took Lizzie to visit Harvard University. She marveled at the beauty of the campus and the joyful students but felt she didn't belong. However, the principal reminded her that everyone there was just an ordinary person, and if they could succeed, so could she. With renewed determination, Lizzie decided to pursue Harvard. Knowing that she would need more than just good grades, she needed a solid plan. She discovered a scholarship program sponsored by the New York Times and spent 4 months preparing for the competition. The essay topic, How to Face Challenges and Difficulties, resonated deeply with her. On the day of her 18th birthday, she submitted her application, hoping for the best. When she received an interview opportunity, she borrowed a coat from her sister, but on her way out, she encountered a homeless friend who needed help. Despite the distraction, Lizzie went forward with her interview, determined not to let anything stand in her way. During the interview, Lizzie shared her life story, including her mother's struggles with addiction and illness. Her honesty and vulnerability moved the interviewers, and they congratulated her on passing the interview. She was admitted to Harvard. At the award ceremony, reporters asked her how she managed to get into Harvard despite her difficult circumstances. Lizzie humbly explained that it was all part of her journey, and those hardships had shaped her determination to succeed. Thanks to the New York Times scholarship, her tuition was covered, and she also secured a job. With her new apartment, she no longer had to carry her belongings everywhere she went. This was more than just a personal victory, it was the result of her resilience. Lizzie's story became widely known, inspiring many people. She went on to earn her doctorate, proving that no matter how desperate the situation, it's possible to rise above and live a fulfilling, bright life.